Hello friends and fellow Monkeyology enthusiasts, we are back with part 2 of our Secret of Monkey Island EGA playthrough. We're going to jump right back into it as we sort of stopped abruptly, and let's get back to the game. This reminds me of a conversation that got brought up to Noah Felstein and Mark Ferrari just over the last couple days. Look at how squished he is. I want to get that aspect ratio fixed. There's so much just straight dithering in these backgrounds, and some of this is really, really fancy, and that's probably why like an anti-dithering pass isn't going to do much there. But in some of these areas, it'll definitely blend into a completely different... Yeah, and I was watching their conversation. I had just recently found some old video game magazines, so I tried to see if there was anything that I had for Last Crusade. I don't know why I bothered coming into town, actually. Let's just go and get some money. Can't do much without money. Yeah, and the stuff on the boxes are so blurry. In the manual, like, I have a Macintosh version of Indy 3, right? So I went into the manual for that, and it just shows the Mac interface plus the the black and whitish. I have to play that version too. I have an old Power Mac G3 or whatever that I have kicking around here that I used to fire up to run OS 9 at least to be able to play some of these. But its drive has apparently failed since I've acquired it, which is sad. Yeah. And I even donated copies of that to the team in hopes of adding support. So I was disappointed in that regard. Yeah, I've had so much problems getting Apple emulation to work, but I'm gonna continue because I need to play that. It's an entire different. Yeah. And it's funny because the majority of their devs program on Apple machines too. They think there'd be more. Like, especially the primary ones that laid the groundwork for all the scum engine stuff that they're on. Now, I'll go so far as to maybe say Lude was possibly a Linux guy, but a lot of them, like I know Fingolfin, his avatar was the Apple logo forever. Miskin, Toddy, Ne'er-do-well, Scofflaw. How fast are they going to run that? Boom. Say there, how do you like an experience? I am not even going to try. I'm sure I could do that, but I would have to slow down the text quite a lot. Yeah, and that's what I mean is I've had some issues. I've tried previously to get Basilisk up. I didn't try too hard because I didn't, find the disk images and stuff that they needed. So put a little bit more effort into it, but I want to because those looks like a wonderful way to play. Get in the cannon, and we'll shoot you out of it. Rob Paulson did a wonderful job there too, and if he wasn't both of them, the second guy did a great job of matching his energy. How much are you gonna pay me? It looked like a guy who's just gonna jump in a cannon because they're like, yeah, okay, do this. Oh, totally. Fist fighting in Indy 3. You can. I remember reading up on that as well, because you mentioned Sid Meier's Pirates earlier, and Felstein said like they took the concepts that they were trying to originally going to do in Monkeyology, and then adapted it to Indy 3, which made it less of a ripoff of Sid Meier's Pirates, because it was fist fighting instead of sword fighting. But then Ron came and said, hey, we really like that, and they were going to put it into the new one. And then he's all like, I sort of stole it from Sid Meier's Pirates. That might be a thing. And then, okay. And I'm glad they did, because this is wonderful. Sure, why not? Do you have a helmet? Have you got a helmet? Of course I have a helmet. What sort of idiot do you take me for? I want to say that's a Tim line, but that's just a guess at this point. It'd all be speculative. I'm sure at this point they probably argue about which ones they made. Well, I guess give odd to Fettuccine Brothers. That will work as a helmet. Yeah. After I leave here, try to go back into town? Okay. I'm sure I did that back in the day, but haven't in years. So, let's... Oh. It works. I am so relieved. There's so many of the SE voices that just like live in my head for this now, which is funny. But I think that's how you deliver these characters when yeah, there's no other thing to say. It might as well only say the I am Bob and are you now. Hooray, and we are spared an embarrassing and financially debilitating lawsuit. We just need to change it again. No, I'll do it next. No, me. So yeah, this is just life in my room over there, by the way, because that's our media room where we have all of, well, the things that occupy the children throughout most of the day. So the no me, that's just, you can just see that over there if you want. Well, we'll keep playing Monkeyology. Well, we watch the second. Those crazy spaghetti brothers are still in it. He's like, no, they fired me out of it. No, I'm done. I don't want to see them again. Yeah, I imagine, actually. I wonder if they had to put them in like their own character itself. That's probably the wrong term, but object. It's probably its own object that like becomes visible instead. I don't know. That would be random guessing for. Okay. Let's go get some of the bits and bobs we need to effectively become a pirate. But no, this was the first version that I ever played, and when we upgraded to a Cyrix 486 DX processor, all of a sudden I was no longer able to run it. It was I did not know that. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. The disc 22 that gives some additional I even bought, well, I didn't buy this hat, but I got this LED hat, and I got it, you know, the little, and it just said insert disc 22, because I'm like that. No. Anyways, so I upgraded to 486 DX processor. We were stoked. Finally, our first 486. We had a 286 that I first played this on, and then the 386. And then but it was not compatible with Cyrix 486 DX, for specifically mine. I would get repeatedly a uh, runtime error, integer divide by 0, over and over and over again, and it just robbed me of this. And I chased after this version for years and years and years, and I kept on buying new versions of Monkey Island, and it'd always be the VGA and forward, and so I never got that sunset that I was looking for until finally Scumbium came around, and I no longer was bound by the original. uh, uh, you got hit by it too. Yeah, those Cyrix processors were in everything. I am great. There are times when I'm grateful about like the two-party-ish PC market that we have now with just AMD and Intel, because there's so many different. Oh my God. Yeah, you know, you had your Intel, you had early AMD, which really wasn't doing many moves into 386 era. Let's go talk to Fester. I'll keep the background of things. Um, then uh then all of a sudden you know, Texas Instruments back into it. You have Cyrix, which is directly competing with so many different Intel processors and taking huge chunks out of the market, right? And yeah, that the pixel smoothing shader, that one in particular was another one of those things like I had to find. I do remember I did manage to get it to work when I first bought that G3, but I had this really hokey setup with it, and it wasn't a fun place to sit and play something, so I didn't. Uh, just our kids. Oh, really? That's interesting. Well, see ya. Did you hear something back in here too? Or, yeah, and bad things happen to people who sneak up on other people from behind. So, the other day in well, before our Monkey Island meeting, we were talking about that awesome article that was released well, allayed our sadness and cleared up some things. Uh, does the screen scroll? It's a bit wider. I don't think the screen scrolls. We'll poke around and check that edge there. We might be able to walk over here. That's interesting. Absolutely. Uh, yeah, I'm going to falsely claim to be a mighty pirate in front of somebody who actually is, although he's pretending to be a sheriff right now. And absolutely, definitely going to have to. I mean, this is. Do they use this version or the VGA version of it in Monkey Island 2? It's probably the VGA version. They're made around the same time. But yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. And that's, of course, what would make sense. Although it would be a kick. But it's what I learned from making that infographic, and just what I had to do because it was using just a raw image from the game itself. So it was using the resolution that, yes, it scrolls. It does not scroll far. It scrolls to let us see a couple more barrels, but it does scroll. I don't think it scrolls in MI2, but you also have pylons in these areas, right? Look at sign. Employees only. Look at poster. And this is where we're supposed to find out there's a circus. I should the implied flow would be I had walked all the way into town, continued exploring this way, got called over by by the voice in the distance in the alleyway. Let's the pedestrians on Melee. Seems like they're not there all the time. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, say, they weren't there in the Sega CD version, which had to cut certain things for, for that's why there's no animation in the scum bar for the madly rotating Buccaneer. Also, if that guy is selectable? No, I don't think he's selectable. What do you want? The customer service is just amazing, by the way. Awards. He should have awards for his customer service. Can we get him an Employee of the Month badge? I want it. Great. The best 100 pieces of aid you'll ever spend. Yeah, that's the same sort of thing with the right clicks that it will automatically. Interesting. I want it. Price is no object. Just give me the stuff, please. You'll dig up 75 pieces of eight in no time. But hey, save some treasure for the rest of us, would you? So apparently I have one major pirate voice. When I try harder, I do come up with other voices as well, and they are all they're all Barbossa from Pirates of the Caribbean. I should have went and talked to Otis first so I could get breath mints here as well. But I have to remind myself I'm not trying to do like a speed run. I don't see the benefit of speed running it though, to be totally honest. Just 100 pieces of eight. That does not seem worth being shot out of a cannon and experiencing blunt force trauma. I'll be right back. And don't touch anything. Open. Open door. Walk to... might as well go talk to others. Why not? Not to mention halitosis. One time when I was young, we visited Victoria, and they had a schooner in the bay, Victoria, British Columbia, here in Canada. It's on Vancouver Island. It's on the west coast of Canada. For anybody watching this in the future that might not know, beautiful place. And they had a massive schooner out in the bay that they were letting people come up on and explore and add deactivated cannons. It was a pirate ship. And I hung out on that pirate ship for a while, got a bunch of pictures taken, and for me, it was Monkey Island. And yeah, there's only like one part where, well, two parts where you're on a pirate ship, but at this time at least. But it was very much okay. Yeah, let's not. International Mojo. Gotta pick up the chicken. And I think it's funny that you can actually like play through all of this without talking to her a single time if you don't want to. You know, you really don't have to talk to her. My name's Guybrush, Mighty Pirate. Can't say that for following titles at all. All right, I stand corrected. Do you know any other tricks? Such a wonderful. Yeah. I do not deal in tricks. What I know is the truth. I totally headcanon her being the manipulator of all of this. She fucking created LeChuck. I'll go with that, but she made LeChuck. She told him where to go, what to do. She playing us both. And in Monkey Island 2, she's shipping off supplies to LeChuck. You know. But before it was implied, I had absolutely no inkling that would be the case. So I think that if that is something that goes forward, that's something that they Toriyama into the storyline. Just tell me everything that's gonna happen. Why not? Why not? Guybrush knows. Sounds like the Blackbeards now. I want to mention, I love how they grew Morgan Le Fay as a character, and it wouldn't have allowed it if she did. But I really wanted her to be Kate capsized, and that is just some silly throwback. It's always better to world build and create new characters, of course. But with all the teasing that they had, it felt like we were going to get Kate, and it would make sense that after, we imprisoned her, and I don't think we ruined it. Yeah, Bosun Krebs was definitely, yeah. They did a few bait and switches there like that. They're like, oh, who's this? The only reason why I'm not, upset, why people, I think, weren't upset was because it being Kate wouldn't add anything to it, but exactly. It was just one person waving a flyer for a period of time. Took you out on a boat. I think they just wanted to show that there was more than one female pirate in the entire Caribbean. I mean, poor Elaine. That's a lot of hungry dudes. All right. As you can hear in the background, the rest of my brood has now returned home from school. Really? No, they wouldn't be. That makes no sense. It's not time for them to be home yet. I'm confused. What is that? Some sort of code? That's like, go away, kid. Of course it's a code, you idiot. Never mind. Good night. Yeah, it's sort of cool that they added some chirps and some ambient sounds in different areas. Um, this silence of this moment though, right after coming back to the island, when you've already defeated one ghost and there's another ghost here, and melee feels different, especially that first time you've ever come back, the first time you've made it to that point. You're like, oh my god, I don't know. Never mind. I did the wrong thing. But, want to bet? I got lunch. Fine. Rare. Only one existence. Oh, cute. Can you tell me that code again? Shh. Write it down, will you? That would make sense. Or maybe he had maybe he was Tingle. Maybe you had to go to him to get a chart to an area where you get another secret thing that had the money for you to get to the next. Also, since we're talking about Tingle, who else always named their link in Wind Waker Guybrush? Because I did, like, every single time until I got at least where I was like naming Link. I'll take it. It'll make a swell gift. It'll make a swell gift. Like, he has these moments of just pure, and uh that's why the thought that the script for the failed Monkey Island movie got turned into, oh no, it's a beautiful game, and if it's not your type or cup of tea, I understand. I said don't pass under the rad. See, that I can completely understand. Now with Twilight Princess, for me, the soundtrack itself puts me to sleep, and I get flack from Zelda fans for this all the time. I am a Zelda fan. I've got every one of the games that's ever been made, but except for the CDI ones. But YouTube is better to expect. Anyways, um, I've gotten flack from them because they're all like, "Oh yeah, Twilight Princess is wonderful," and Twilight Princess puts me to sleep. There's no reason why your character should have the constant sounds of yawning around it, and that's your assist characters. That puts me to sleep, and I fall asleep playing that game constantly. Uh, but I will say Wind Waker is the Zelda game that I've replayed the most over and over and over again. Um, that is a great game, and I recommend it to anybody. Definitely one of the strongest titles in that series. Mm, Many would be tempted to play, the fabled Ocarina of Time before doing that. Don't. It's a great game. If it's not one that you might get tired of that one. Wind Waker engages you immediately. If you have the Wii U, which I doubt anybody does, but if you do, play the HD remasters. It makes the last bit of it, which can be a slog, not even close to as bad. Um, Plus the super speed sale makes it so you can get between the islands a lot better. And since you're not dealing with GameCube era loading problem times and whatnot, it can actively have more of the islands loaded into its environment, so it doesn't take as long to get in between them anyway. Yeah, no, Twilight Princess can. The very first time I played that game, it was right when the Wii came out, and I just had spent hours and hours and hours in line waiting for it on launch day, and that was the game I was going to play through. So my excitement carried me through that sloggy intro bit, and I haven't been able to do it again since. That's one of the only Zelda games I haven't been able to fully replay personally. Uh, no, I'll take one if you pay me. Meanwhile, back on Monkey Island. Sorry for the Zelda tangent. Say, are you guys pirates? Just seems so. Oh, this one time while I was living in Victoria, fun story, just the way you said that. I had now, I I wore a long black leather jacket. I was a metalhead, so I had like band patches all over and stuff like that. And I had this complete random person come up to me and ask me if I was in that same tone, and this is why I mentioned that. Say, are you a Satanist? And this is like turn of the millennium, and I'm like, no. And she's like, do you know where I can find some? I'm sorry, I don't. You have a great day, okay? Like, how come you're on the street corner, not on a ship, looting, pillaging, sacking, that sort of thing? I mean, clearly, this is like he has an idea what he wants to get into. Like he understands this is what he wants in life. He wants to be a pirate. This is, yeah. No. They would have had to split him into two different characters because of his joyful side and then his like sort of sociopathic. So it would be believable for them to split him into what became Jack and Will. And instead of Will wanting to be a pirate, he didn't want to be a pirate. He tried his hardest not to be a pirate. Totally. Definitely. I've, and I've never really thought, I've always, like I said, I've attributed so much more to Schaefer, but that makes so much sense. And with, after, experiencing more of like Grossman's games, especially at the later Sam Max episodes and well, the early Sam Max, more of his experiencing more of his writing. Definitely see what you mean. The Grossman and Schaefer sides are like you could literally put little angels on either shoulder. All right, so we're gonna cut that there at this point, and we will hop back into it in the next video. If you've been enjoying the playthrough so far, be sure to click like and subscribe. If you want to catch us as we play through live, you can do that at twitch.tv/TheRealGloKid. We stream Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 o'clock. Currently, we will be starting Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis as we just finished up Monkey Island 2. So I look forward to getting all of Monkey Island 1 upload so we can start getting some of that Monkey Island 2 playthrough up there too. By the time we're done that, who knows where we'll be in the Twitch streams. Thanks again for watching today. And if you have any feedback as well, throw us a comment. But as always, have a great day and take care.